to the rest of the team.
I was literally going to go there.
Yes.
In other
Thank
words,
you.
there's
That's so
probably
good.
an old guy on your team who's thinking, what does this little girl think she's going to
Yep.
teach me?
Yep.
And so for your senior leader to be able to communicate to the team as a whole,
Yeah.
hey, this is what I've seen in this person. This is what I believe is best for our team. This is the kind of leadership that she can bring and what she has to offer. I think for us, it'd be a way for some of that humility to be unlocked.
Yep.
Yeah.
Instead of being a stiff arm to go,
Right.
this isn't for me, to go, hey, you know what? Maybe I could learn something.
Yeah.
Maybe I should be open.
Yeah. When it's
Yeah.
part of that, like we want to empower leaders and volunteers, but is that responsibility and authority? Like we can give them a bunch of responsibility because we see the potential, but are we giving them that authority and trusting that they might not do it 100% like we will do it, but if they hit 80%, 70%, that's probably going to be great that us trying to cover every
C's get
area.
degrees.
Yes, yeah, exactly. So just like being open to creating space, and one of the things that I'm very grateful for is for the people who have opened the doors for me and allowed me space to walk through that and make the mistake and get the bumps and bruises, and that's the kind of leader I like to be. Like I can't cover everything, but I can open the door for you to walk. I can create space. I can tear some of those like extra stuff that people have in mind, so you can walk in confidently and lead.
Yeah.
And then we'll work on the learning and we work on some of those things. But if we don't even create the space for them, how do we even know?
Yeah.
That's uncomfortable for us old guys, though, right?
Yeah.
Because, like you said,
Yeah.
you might not do it like I would do it.
Right.
And
Yeah.
a lot of us like to control our little world, right? I mean,
Yeah.
that way. And it's hard.
Yeah.
I mean, it is
Well, just-
absolutely hard.
Just because an idea is different doesn't mean it's a bad idea.
No,
Right.
they're
Like,
usually better
Yeah.
They're
ideas.
usually better ideas.
They're usually
So,
better.
Yeah.
for us to be willing to go, you know what, that's not the way I would have done it, but sure enough,
Yeah.
it's better.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And that's not a bad thing. That's not a ding against what
Right.
we've done in the past.
Yeah.
It's not a ding against our character, our identity. It's like, you know what? Things have changed.
That's right.
And
Yeah.
it's time to move to this new place.
Yep.
I love that.
And
Yeah.
even like giving them the permission almost to try something new, and even if they fail, that builds trust.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you gave them the opportunity
Well,
to
how-
grow and to see
how
what
we
they're
respond
capable of.
Yes.
when they
Yeah.
fail
It makes
is
a
important.
huge impact. And
Yeah.
Huge
I'll
impact.
say, like,
Right,
I
because
had
if there is a
leaders-
failure, I told you so is not even
Right?
close to the
it
right
will
answer.
not build their confidence at all.
I was a part of a ministry that was trying to do just a new idea for a young adult service. And it was going to be a Sunday night thing. We're going to turn this room into a really cool, vibey environment. And there were those of us who were a part of it that were like, this is never going to work. This looks dumb. This is weird. And all the hipsters in the room were like, no, it's going to be cool because it's this whole, like, we're creating this vibe for these young adults. And sure enough, it didn't last very long. It was kind of a flop.
Yeah.
And it was all we could do to not say, I told you so. But you know what? Taking the risk and sort of failing on purpose, with purpose, actually opened the door for, okay, what if we change this and this and this and this? And now the ministry is thriving.
That's right.
Yeah.
Because they were able to modify what was a, quote, failure into something that was effective.
Yeah, I love that. So, Lara, I wanna direct this one to you because I know you just taught the breakout to leading our next generation of lighting designers.
Yeah.
So, what have you done with? 'Cause I know you have some pretty young volunteers. Like, what did you do to even get that step started with them and leading them in a way that they can confidently step into that space and just create?
Yeah, I think in my experience, there's really two types of young leaders. So I kind of talked about this in my breakout too, but you have the young leaders that like self-identify and they're very passionate. They're like, I want to learn how to do this. And they're all in, right? So they're the easy ones because they come in with that energy already, ready to learn, ready to show up. But I also think there are young leaders that sometimes won't advocate for themselves and really being the kind of leader that like encourages them and says like, hey, I see you. I see the talents that you have. I see the value that you bring. Why don't you try this? I had one girl that was like, I wish I could do that. And I was like, what do you mean you wish you could do that? Like, come up here and I'll train you right now. So I think it's important to, as an older leader, one, reach out into that community, advocate, get to know who's living in that community, where those leaders are, what they're interested in, where they want to go. But then also as a young leader, just speaking up for yourself. So I've been on both ends, right? That like there were some times that I had to advocate for myself as a young leader and just say, hey, I want to learn that. And being okay to speak up and bring your voice to the table, even though it might be intimidating.
Yeah, that's great. I love that. So we're getting close to the end of this, but if you could think about the incoming generation, whether they're younger, maybe not quite like ready to step into a weekend environment, but what would you want to say to that one student or young adult that is getting ready to step into, whether it's a position of leadership or just as a part of a team, to encourage them and to help them kind of start strong?
Can I start?
Yeah.
I would say show up authentically.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
And I think imposter syndrome is real, especially like Jamie was saying, when you're young and you're leading all of these people older than you, and you're like, what? How did I end up here? Just show up authentically. And I think there's a lot of respect in being yourself and being honest about like, I don't have all the answers, but I'm here to support you, and I want us to win together.
Yes, that's great.